Josh, what's going on, man? Welcome to the summit.
Thank you. I'm stoked to be here with you, Chase. Anything that you do has got gold on it, and not just because you're wearing that nice hoodie.
I was gonna say, well, it's more like yellow. Maybe we'll say it's got yellow on it for sure.
No, I'm stoked to
Um,
be here, man. I'm proud to do any kind of conscious media creation with you because the world needs it now more than ever, and people will continue to need it as well.
that's why we're here. That's why we're putting the band back together. Some familiar faces, some new faces.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for what this whole event is doing for me. Nonetheless,
Mm.
I mean, outside of the podcast space, that's what I always say when I interview people. It's just a great life lesson, great education, and now sitting down with like 18, 19, 20 other people and
Yeah.
talk about a learning experience, man.
That's the one thing that I love about podcasting is not like, oh, just because people know my name or none of that stuff matters. Because in the end, like the only things that matter is how I left my friends and my family, my community. Did I leave them in a better space? Did I leave them emotionally higher? Did I contribute something to their lives? If I do it and people know who I am, cool. But to be honest, I really don't give a fuck about that. I really don't. Like, I want to reach millions of people just for the fact that I want to help millions of people, not that I want to be
Yeah.
known for reaching millions of people. So I'm with you, man. Like, this is the greatest learning tool I've ever had. It's also, podcasting is really personal development in disguise. That's
Mm-hmm.
really what podcasting is.
Yeah. So somebody maybe who's watching and doesn't know who you are, who is Josh Trent, and how you doing today, man? How's Josh
Oh,
checking in with Josh today?
look, that changes every day, Chase. But
True.
since I've
True.
been put on the planet, I always had a sense that I was brought here to help dilute the toxicity. That's
Mm.
real, So that's who I am at a base level. On a metaphysical level, I'm a soul inhabiting a meat suit on a rock in the middle of the universe that is lit by an orb in the sky. That's what I am. What does Josh Trent identify as here in the world? Like, what am I doing here to serve? I host Wellness Force Radio. I have Wellness Force Media. We create conscious content that allows men and women to discover greater physical and emotional intelligence within themselves. And we believe that intelligence has nothing to do with your smarts. We believe that intelligence has everything to do with your ability to gather information, like Chase's podcast, like Wellness Force, to apply and try on that information, see if it works. And then the most important thing, man, in intelligence that we stand for is, how are you embodying the application and the gathering of your lessons? Because if you don't embody them, if they're not in your body,
Yeah.
then you're really missing out on what intelligence and growth actually is. So that's who I am and what I stand for. And we really just have a strong mission this year in 2020 to help end the mental health crisis. And as spirit would have it, like perfect, that we're in the middle of the biggest crisis I believe you and I will ever have in our
I agree.
lifetimes.
Yeah.
So right now, mental health is under attack. I've even felt it myself. I've felt old patterns come up, and I've been mindful to squash those patterns with all my barrage of tools. And I'm wondering, if I'm having trouble and I
Mm.
have all these tools and resources and connections, what's happening with the average person who's beginning their journey? How are they coping with all of this? It is my duty. It is
Mm.
all of our duty to serve that person right now. Because if we don't, they're screwed. They're
Mm-hmm.
completely screwed.
Mm-hmm. What's been a lesson for you so far? Here we are about 30 days, if not a little bit more, a month into quarantines, man. What's been a
Yeah.
lesson that has risen up, maybe something new or
Okay.
something that's been
Yeah.
resurfacing?
Right. There's no more room for bullshit.
Mm.
That's my
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
There's no more room for bullshit. Pick your battles and don't pick many when it comes to your spouse or your significant other. That's number one. Okay.
Mm.
Anything that triggered you in the past or that made you upset, start realizing that your trigger is your teacher. Your trigger is there to teach you something about something that's not healed within yourself. Something that's come up because my partner and I are in super close quarters is
Mm.
sensitivities, right? We all have certain things that we're working
Yeah.
through. So I have sensitivities. She has sensitivities. Those sensitivities create friction, and that friction creates growth, and that growth creates expansion of consciousness. So whether you're analytical, like you're a logical mind person that likes fitness and counting reps, or whether you're a more spiritual person that likes to explore the content of the universe and why we're here,
Mm.
with breath work or plant medicine or just any kind of exponential journeys, the universal struggles that we're all having right now are true, no matter what personality type
Yeah.
you have or what kind of person you are. And those struggles we're cramped in close quarters. So for myself, I can just say it's been a big emotional inventory. Like, I have my black and red that I always do my journaling in. This is the best. It's 8.5 by 11. And I've
That's a
been
big
doing
boy.
I've been doing multiple journals a day. I mean, I do a lot though. I'll put like, well, don't screenshot that. That's more of a journal right there. But
We'll
I'll
blur
put
that
like
out.
diagrams. I'll put my business in here. I mean, I've just been really proud of how I've been journaling for myself lately because, man, if I don't put it down right there, then it just gets lost and circling around up here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my responsibility to myself for my own mental health to write down the pontifications I'm having all day and to write down the things that are causing me pain or distress. When I do that, then I can pause and I can ask myself, okay, is that true? Is that fear-based thought true? Is that scary thing that I'm afraid of happening true? I just did an episode this morning with someone, the CEO of Carol, that's an artificial intelligence bike, and she's also very spiritual. She integrates the
Oh,
chakras
wow.
into her work. It's a fascinating
That
company.
sounds amazing. Got to check that
And
out, man.
you totally got to check it out. You should be an awesome guest for Ever Forward. And she goes, yeah, when we're worrying, we have to realize that worry is actually prayer. When we're
Hmm.
worrying, we're sending out a signal of, oh my gosh, this might happen. I don't want this to happen. Universe doesn't care. When we're worrying about something, when we're ruminating and we're having looping thoughts, people with OCD suffer with this quite a bit. That signal, that energy, vibration, however you want to call it, it continues to shoot out to the people around us, to the content that we consume. I mean, like attracts like when it comes to this kind of stuff. So that's been my biggest journey right now, is being aware to catch myself and pause when I'm ruminating, when I'm triggered, when I'm learning something with my partner. I mean, right now is like the ultimate crucible for personal growth for everyone, especially
I
when you're in
agree.
a
I agree.
partnership, man.
Yeah.
So we're in close quarters, and in close quarters, like, you're really going to see who you are. So in a way, it's making me so happy. Like, I kind of feel like that happy cry feeling right now, you know, it's making me so happy because I'm
It's a dichotomy
learning.
for sure.
We're being rapidly pushed to growth. So what might have taken 6 months or a year is now being done in a couple of weeks as far as self-discovery, if you have the right tools.
Do you think right now, the person watching, let's just think maybe like universal approach here. What do you think the person watching is going through the most right now? If you had to make a blanket statement for human species right now, because it's a global pandemic, we're all going through a
Yeah.
similar, very similar situation to varying degrees. What do you think is going through their head the most right now?
I love the way you asked that, because what's going through people's heads right now
Mm,
is the transmission that's being shot at them. And the transmission that's being shot at people is: be afraid,
mm.
be in fear, don't trust your neighbor, be in scarcity, divide from one another,
Be
stay in your
uncertain.
home, keep your mouth shut, wear a mask, don't worry about what's going on, trust us, we'll tell you. That's what's going on for people.
Mm.
And so if they haven't done work on themselves about their identity, about their strength, about what are the core pillars of values that they have, if the people don't have that right now, they're just going to be washed out to the ocean. There's just nowhere for them to go, because they haven't built any kind of foundation of like, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in. And so I think with the majority, the far majority, I mean, not people that tune into your podcast or my podcast,
We
but
hope,
they have
right? Yeah, I
friends.
believe it. Yeah.
They have friends. They have people in their community that are just washing their bodies in fear soap, and they're wondering why they're freaking out. It's like,
Mm,
turn right now, stop watching the news. I know that sounds totally counterintuitive. If you feed yourself a steady diet of fear, you're going to want more food. You're just going to
mm.
keep wanting more of it. It's an addiction, man. The news right now is an addiction. People know it. Chase, I don't want to make this a conspiracy theory conversation, but I will say there is so much more going on behind the scenes than you and I will
I
ever
believe it.
realize. Our biggest responsibility to self right now is to stay calm,
Mm,
to do our work, and to be of service to others. Now, the only way we can do that is by taking care of Maslow's triangle. You and I have jammed about this before.
mhm, mhm.
We got to take care of that right now, and in all the different ways.
Yeah, how do we take care of ourselves right now? I mean, you got my attention, you've got the watcher's attention. All right,
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready to take care of myself, Josh. What do I do? What does that look
cool.
like? What can it
All
look
right.
like?
Okay. Well, first of all, go to wellnessforce.com/M21. That's the number one thing you do. I'm sure Chase has amazing resources for this as well. But
We'll have it all linked out for sure.
I battle tested this, you know, like months and months and months of like, okay, what do 300 plus world-class leaders do every day? Okay, from them, what are like the 6 things that they do? Well, that's in the M21 guide. And it's hydration, it's breathing, it's breath work, it's journaling. It's just some core principles. But here's the thing, are you doing them?
Mm,
it's really easy to like buy a book, you know, like, oh, I got this new book, it's amazing, you know, I'm going to read it, and then it sits and collects dust. This is what I was saying earlier, man, and I promise I'll answer your question. When people go like, well, what do I need to do in order to be okay? What do I need to do, or what do I need to read in order to be okay?
Hmm.
It's actually the complete opposite.
Hmm.
Who am I going to wake up and choose to be today? And if that person is like a confident, healthy, loving man or woman, somebody that cares about his family or cares about her kids, or then just choose to be that person. That's like the number one thing. It's counterintuitive though. And then next, what is somebody that is being that kind of a person? What are they doing all day? Are they waking up and
Yeah.
meditating? Are they
Yeah.
drinking water? Are they connecting with loved ones? Are they checking in with their communities, make sure their community is okay? Are they being of
What habits
service?
do they have? Just
What
day-to-day
habits do they
habits. Yeah.
have? What's their day-to-day habits? What kind of food are they eating? Big one right now, dude. Big one right now is food.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just accosting themselves with like carbohydrates, or like a sickness right now because people are just craving comfort, you know? So then lastly on
Yeah.
that, in that piece is, then I will have the peace. I will
Mm.
have the calmness. I will have the strength. But it's backwards. You don't become stronger by like looking at weights. You go pick up the weights, and then you
We
get
hope,
stronger
right?
by
We
by
hope one
repetition,
day.
right?
Yeah.
So it starts with the decision, like, I love myself. I'm worthy of this. I'm worthy of not being controlled by the media. I'm worthy of not being controlled by my neighbor's fear. My neighbors are freaking
Yeah.
out right now, and people are looking at me in stores. Like, I go into a store, I'm like not wearing a mask because I don't believe in what's going on. I think what's going on is that we need to protect ourselves. I'm not going to go and invade someone else's space, or
Sure.
I'm,
Sure.
I'm going to maintain healthy distance. I'm going to do all that because I want to respect my fellow human beings, but I refuse to allow myself to be hijacked.
Mm.
That's how we take care of loving. That's how we lovingly take care of ourselves right now. We make a decision. We use be, do, have, not have,
Mm-hmm.
do, and be. We be, then we do, then we have. We really do that. I'm not just saying spiritual babble. Like, that's how we roll right now. And we make sure that we're taking care of our triangle, you know, the Maslow's triangle. It's
Yeah.
it's the most important thing. If anybody out there is trying to sell products or programs or do anything at all to help people at the top of the triangle, stop doing that.
Mm.
You need to help people at the bottom of the triangle right now. Like, that's the most important thing.
I agree. I agree. And I want to pick up on a key word that you said that um, I think is meaning something different to people now, or is meaning something for the first time, and that's respect.
Mm,
Regardless of what your beliefs are about
yep.
the world or what's going on,
Yeah.
we are all going through the same experience, and we have to respect that.
Yeah.
Where do you think, respect falls into this? Where does respect fall into a global
Mm,
pandemic?
Chase, I mean, man, this is a really tricky question
Mm,
because,
we can make a whole podcast about this. Maybe we will
well,
after this.
maybe we will, but I'll just say this one thing, man. Like, okay, you came from it, from the service, and we're at a state in consciousness right now where we are starting to wake up on a massive level. War and the things that you've been through personally, and even the things that my grandfather went through, and just so many of us, there's just heinous things that we have to respect people for going through because they paid the ultimate price. Right now,
Of course.
this is
Yeah.
not wartime. We have the president of the United States saying the enemy will soon be at rest. The invisible enemy will soon be at rest, aka wartime will soon stop. It's like, this isn't a war. We're not fighting another country. Like,
Yeah.
that's not happening right now. So
It's a powerful word to be throwing out, especially at that
yeah,
level.
yeah. The reason I'm saying this is because, look, I'm all about human decency and human respect, regardless of whatever lens we want to put on it. Like, right now, we have people that are like calling the cops on their neighbors because their
Yeah.
neighbor is suntanning in their backyard. Like, are
Yeah.
you
I've
kidding
heard
me?
of
Like,
this. Yeah.
this is very, very scary behavior. So there's a fine line, Chase, between respecting someone else and also honoring your own values and honoring your own truth. And so when I go out in public, yeah, I respect them because I don't want to cause other people harm, or I don't want to do anything that's going to disrespect other people. But I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me how to live, if somebody's going to force me to do something that I don't believe is right, period. And if that disrespects someone, I really don't give a shit because I know in my heart that I'm not disrespecting someone. I'm going to honor the distancing. I'm going to honor the certain values that I think they hold dear to them.
Yeah.
I'm in the grocery store the other day and locally here in Cardiff, and like they've put up like these bulletproof glass dividers in the grocery store. And I'm like, what is going on here? And she's like, oh,
Where, like in the lanes or in the
they're
checkout
cough
lanes?
shields. Yeah. She's like, they're cough shields. And I'm like,
Wow.
the hell is going on here? Like everybody needs
Wow.
to do this right now. Everybody needs to do this for at least 5 minutes a day, at least twice a day. Everybody needs to do breath work right now. It's not even like a request. Like it's a
Mm,
necessity. Everyone needs to get into their body right now. Because
yeah.
the one thing that breath work does, man, is it gets people in their bodies. And when you're at home in your body and when you feel safe in your body, you're less likely to attack and be afraid of other people and other things. I took us
That just
on a wild goose chase there, but it's all real.
No, man, it's very real, and
Yeah.
I'm that's why I'm bringing on people from all walks of life, all walks of business, all walks of belief systems, because this is America, this is the world. We all have different belief systems. We're
Yeah.
looking at things in the way that we believe them to be true. Yes, of course, there is kind of a global standard going on of a certain or similar experience, but we all have these different lenses like you're talking about. So I just want
Yeah.
to highlight them because it's your truth, my truth, and the person walking, like you're saying earlier, excuse me, the person watching, they need to
Yeah.
take a bit from you. They need to take a bit from me,
For
or
sure.
not, or not, and just create their own.
That's a great point. Don't believe anything I say. Seriously. Unless
Yeah.
you with your
Mm.
own decoder feel that it's true.
Yeah.
Look at Bruce Lee. Like I think he was the one that came on the scene in the 60s, and he was like, for every master who's teaching a lesson, take what resonates, leave the
Mm.
rest. And there's been so many people, I'm sure Ryan Holiday's mentioned it, I'm sure all these
Mm.
contemporary masters have mentioned it. Take what resonates, leave the rest.
Yeah.
Take what resonates, leave the rest, and be
Yeah.
aware that there's a lot more going on. Like when you and I talk, when people consume this conversation, they're actually consuming it. Their nervous system is taking it in. So be mindful about what you allow in, first of all. And then secondly,
Absolutely.
what you allow to stay. Because I can watch like a movie or something and I might not like it. And then I'll go like shake on the trampoline and get it out of my system.
Mm.
But when it comes to right now, it's so important that everyone takes loving care of themselves. And I think there's about 7 ways that are really, really, really important for people to love themselves right now and take care of themselves.
Can you shoot them off real quick, or
Yeah,
I'll make sure to like list them out here for the
absolutely,
viewers.
man. Yeah, I mean, and this is what we talk about on Wellness Force all the time. It is, how is your eating, moving, and sleeping? And within the moving, there's breath, right? Because we're moving the diaphragm, we're moving the body. So that's real. How are you eating and hydrating? How are you sleeping and moving? Those are big. So EMS, eating, moving, and sleeping. That's the physical body in a nutshell. We don't do much more than that. But on the emotional side, that's the thing that's tricky. And the 4 pillars in that is BTFA. So it's belief, thoughts, feelings, and actions. Look at your beliefs, then look at how those drive your thoughts, then look at how that makes you feel. Then from your feeling, you create some type of an action. And you can look at Duhigg's work or anyone's work on this stuff. They're basically saying the same thing. It's like you can reverse engineer any outcome to someone's belief. It all traces back to a belief.
Right.
She's like,
Yeah.
Chase, like, I believe I'm a podcaster. Well, okay, what do podcasters do? Well, they go out and put out content that helps people. Okay, what kind of a life do they have? Yada, yada, yada. But it's
Mm.
all because your belief. Like people start anything because they have a belief. So right now, people's beliefs are being tested. And the
Oh yeah.
belief that I am safe, the belief that I am well, the belief that I am supported, that I'm on the right path, no matter what, that belief is being triggered and challenged in people right now. And we're really seeing people's beliefs about the world is a scary place. I can't trust my neighbor. I can't trust myself. I can't trust anything. Those beliefs are coming up because chaos is looking to find order.
What a way to end it. I won't add anything to that, man. That was powerful. Thank you so much for walking us through those tangible things, the belief
Yeah.
systems. Just and seriously, like you said, take what resonated with you and move
Leave the
on.
rest. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Appreciate you,
and
man.
and also use a lens of experience, right? I'm not saying that overnight you have to change your belief. Oh my God, no,
Yeah,
things take time.
yeah.
Wherever you are in this process, it's okay. Like honor yourself wherever you are. Dude, I am where I can't even imagine where I'm going to be in 5 years. Are you kidding me? You know where you and I are going to be in 5 years? It's going to
Not a
be
clue.
unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable the amount of awareness and education and resiliency we have because we're just committed to doing the work. Like lean in right now, people. Just like lean
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
discomfort right now. And while you're crying and while you're suffering, reach out to people who are suffering too,
Connect, 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 connect.
and really connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. That's the whole point of it, man. So,
Yeah,
Josh,
man.
appreciate you. You guys definitely want to check out his stuff over at Wellness Force Media, Wellness Force Radio. He's been
Yeah.
a homie for a long time and someone that I've pulled from in a lot of ways over the years. So, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too, brother. Thanks for having me.